Business leaders tell me that they want employees who have a continuous improvement mindset and who work together to find new ways to move the business forward. HR leaders tell me that they wish each manager in the company would create an environment where employees feel safe to admit mistakes and share concerns, and where they can learn and grow. The only way to accomplish both goals is to turn managers into true leaders. The problem is, most leadership development fails. The reason leadership development fails is not because managers don't want to apply what they've learned, it's because they often forget to apply what they've learned. Here are a few strategies you can use to help your managers remember how to be a better leader. 1. Focus on the critically important behaviors. 2. Apply the rule of 3s and 4s. And 3. Feed them bite-sized content regularly. CEOs and HR professionals tend to overcomplicate what managers need to learn. They ask themselves this question: what skills will leaders need in the future? This is actually a bad question for a couple of reasons. Number one, you'll never know for sure, and that uncertainty often delays action. And two, that question assumes that leaders will need a radically different skill set in 5 years from now. In the history of the world, that has never been true. Great leadership has always been about the fundamentals that virtually nobody has mastered, such as demonstrating a really high standard of accountability by resisting the urge to blame others when things go wrong, admitting how they have contributed to problems, and focusing everyone on results, not tasks, or giving and receiving feedback. This includes regularly asking things like, how can I make our team meetings more effective? Or how can I be more inclusive? It also includes knowing how to give corrective feedback so that it's received well. Or fostering collaboration, saying things like, hey Emily, I noticed you haven't said much this meeting. What are we missing here? What do you think we should do? These are proven leadership skills that dramatically improve organizational outcomes, and which very few leaders have mastered. And I guarantee you, they will be just as important in the future as they are today. When leadership development happens, managers are often inundated with too many things to remember. Researchers learned long ago that our working memory is surprisingly limited. In fact, the most information we can consistently remember in a given list is about 3 or 4. That's why our phone numbers and our credit card numbers are conveniently broken into 3 or 4 groups of 3 or 4 digits. It's just easier to remember. So when you're teaching managers what to do in a given situation, make sure you're only telling them the most important 3 or 4 things. We have been conditioned to think of leadership development as an event or an initiative. Do you know why fit people are fit? It's not because they work out all day for 2 days straight once a year. It's because they make exercise a priority and a habit. Imagine if we treated marketing the same way we treat leadership development. Oh, you know, we're really busy with an ERP implementation this year, so next year we'll do some marketing. The only problem is next year, you're gonna have some big problems that would have been prevented if you made some time for marketing this year. It's the same thing with leadership development. Whatever challenges your organization is facing now, if your managers learned to be better leaders last year, they'd be in a much better position to handle this year's challenges. Great leaders and great organizations don't treat leadership development as an event. They treat it as a habit, and they do it a little at a time throughout the year, every year.